For Eve, it was an apple. For me, it's a cake. For both of us, it results in separation from God, from our loved ones, from ourselves. Eve saw that apple and the contentment that she felt, that wholeness in her soul, the joy that came from walking with God in the garden, was replaced by a new feeling. A feeling of, this must be better than what I have. I need more. I want more. I have to have more. And so she took that first bite, realized she was naked, realized she was separate from her Creator, and would now spend a lifetime trying to repair that hole that had been opened in her heart. I too, like Eve, look to so many other things that I think will give me life. I look to others, not in a healthy soul-building relationship kind of way, but to make myself feel better. I rely on the affirmation and approval of others instead of my own God-given gifts to guide me. I look to TV and to social media to numb myself from the apathy and the discontentment that I feel. And more than anything else, I look to sugar to fill that void in my soul. I'm currently working with an addiction specialist to help me put into words this cycle that I have been on since I was 6 years old, of binging and restriction and disease and what it's done to me. And although it feels kind of odd to say, I am an addict, and my drug of choice is sugar. It may not be killing me as quickly as heroin would, and it is definitely more socially acceptable, but it is still ruining my mind and my body and my soul. I suffer from so many things because of this drive to numb, to feel a quick dose of pleasure. If only for a moment, it makes it feel like everything fades away. Like an addict, I constantly think about when I will get my next fix. I ignore my family and friends to sneak away and to devour whatever made it into my cart that day. It's harming me physically. Obesity, rheumatoid arthritis, depression. Mentally, I don't think as clearly as I used to. I have a terrible memory. And spiritually, I'm seeking something other than God to make me feel better. Yes, for lack of a better word, I am an addict. It was just recently that this became clear to me. I was installed a couple Sundays ago as the new pastor of a Perfect for Me congregation. The service was beautiful and life-affirming and joyful, and it ended with me knowing this is exactly where I belong. And then I was given a cake. My food drug of choice is frosting. And instantly my focus drifted from the joys of the surface to that cake that was sitting in the back of my car. Not wanting to hurt anyone's feelings, I drove the hour home with the call of sirens coming from the back seat. And again, like an addict, the neurons in my brain were firing, the longing for that dopamine hit was palpable, and the desire for bliss was overwhelming. When I got home, I took it out of the box, and I smelled it, and I touched it, and I looked at it in ways that no one should ever look at a cake. And then I threw it away because I am an addict, and one bite would have sent me into a binge that went on for weeks. One bite would have fired up those brain connections that I needed more. One is too many, 1,000 is never enough. Part of me was proud of myself, but most of me felt guilty. That cake was given to me with such love. The problem, however, is that to me, it's more than a cake. It's an entrance into a world that crushes my spirit and harms my body. It's a gateway that sends me on a path towards other expressions of addiction. It's a step towards something other than God to give me life. Now, I struggle with the fact that this may sound absolutely ridiculous to some. How in the world is sugar an addiction? But the truth will set you free, right? Right? And this is my truth. I am an addict. And just as one wouldn't advise an alcoholic to take just one drink, I am never to have that one bite. I know that life will be different from here on out. I know that I'll be viewed as odd by others, that my family might not understand, that I might relapse and have to learn this way all over again. But I also know that I won't be constantly numbing my soul and polluting my body. I know that each day is a day to recognize the gifts that God has given me and to share those gifts with the world. I know that this makes me free. So instead of looking to a cake to bring me joy, I look to the one who created me, who blesses me, who clothes me, equips me, and calls me out of the garden to live a life full of peace, contentment, and pure, unadulterated joy.